everybody, welcome back to Jimmy's Promo, and today I'm going to show you guys how you're able to trade your stocks and cryptocurrencies with precision. So this way you're able to take the guesswork out of the game and make the most profits and gains. Now for anybody who has already subscribed to this channel knows I'm huge into technology, product reviews, and Samsung products. You might be wondering what is up with this video. Well, the thing is that I love showing you guys and helping you guys with really anything that I'm interested in. So I'm interested in Samsung and technology. So I wanted to show you off, everything you can do there, tips and tricks and tutorials. But you know what? The other thing I'm huge into is stocks and finances, and I actually almost worked at Edward Jones, and I've been calling off some amazing shots. If you guys follow me over on Twitter, and a lot of people were wondering how I read the charts, how I know when it's going to go up, how it's going to go down and hit this exact point right there. I mean, this was an amazing trade that I did just the other morning right here. So I always make these yellow lines of entry points, and right there before the market opened, we were trading right up around like 850, 840. I put in a purchase ticket of 655. I put in a 5-cent buffer, really no big deal. It came down for just a quick second, got all my shares and went right back up. So a lot of people were wondering, Jimmy, where do you learn? How do you read this stuff? So I wanted to show you guys how you're able to do this. And just as an example, in the last week, I believe I had a $18,000 profit. So again, like I said from before, I love to help you guys out with your Samsung products, but I also want to help you out make some money as well too. So then this way you can definitely retire. Now, I am not a financial advisor, just a YouTuber, so take that with a grain of salt, but some of these charts really don't lie. And so just to kind of show you off another image here on Twitter, back when it was trading right up over here at this 479, even my father was asking when he should get in. And so I throw in these two little lines. So he got in at this price point here. And you can see that I had this this exit point, this profit line number 2 sitting right up over here. And then just a few hours after I posted that, we hit it exactly the nail on the head, all the way up to literally the penny that people were able to just take their profits. So if you were trading right down over here, you bought in, you could take your profit there, and then you also knew that it was going to retrace. And so I'm going to show you in today's video how you're able to get all of that done. So the website we're using is called TradingView.com. So you can go to TradingView.com. It's a free website. You can chart everything just like I have here. You can also download the TradingView application. The cool thing is that it's all stored and saved on the cloud. So this way, anything I do right now in today's video, once I close out of this website and I open up my cell phone, everything is now updated and showing me exactly, all the different changes. So first off, let me help you with putting in your tools that you're going to want to always access, and the ones that I use personally. There's a lot of other ones you can also use, and other YouTubers may use other things as well too. So this is just something that I use, but I want to show you guys how I have it all set up, and you can use whatever you want. Simply, you can Google some of these, Fibonacci retracement, fixed volume range profile, parallel channel. So you can kind of look at, even Pitchfork over here. You also have the fib speed retracement fan. So if you wanted to learn more of what these can do, you can Google it or go to other YouTube channels. So I'm going to show you all the ones that I use to make it super simple and fast for you, and then as well as these indicators. So these indicators are what is on the screen. So you head to TradingView.com, and I'm going to kind of talk in this video as if I'm going to talk to my dad here, just so then, if he can learn it, then I know you guys can learn it, and he has learned it, and so has my other friends I showed this to. Well, inside of the indicators, when you tap on the indicator word there, first off, you're not going to have your favorites. So if you go inside of built-ins, you can actually scroll through here and find some of these that you might want to Google, try to figure out, play with, take a look at. But I'm going to make it super easy and simple. I'm going to go straight to favorites, and you can write this down. You can add it in right now. You can pause the video. You can take a screenshot, whatever you would like to do. So DMI, right up over here, that's the directional movement index. Search for that one simply, and then you can find it. And then this way you can have it on the very bottom, but I'm going to show you a fast setting I changed with this one. So you do want to use directional movement index. You can also use the EMA, the 21, 55, 100, 200. So this is the one that I'm using here. It's created by Nico. Keltner channel is another major one that I'm using. You can see here it's actually on the screen right there. You can also use moving index. Swing signal is cool. Swing signal is where if you want to see on the chart when it's a good time to buy or sell based on options and volume levels, but you can actually just do it by yourself. So I don't even have it listed up here, but I always have it favorited just to show other people. Volume oscillator and the Williams alligator. So as you go through, just simply go to those indicators, go to built-ins, or just hit on search and search for these right here. And on the screen, you can see that I have my daily lines. And really what the daily lines is doing is letting me know the averages of where it was normally, sitting. So here's the 20-day fixed moving average. If I was to move this out to the 4-hour chart, and let's say, you scroll on the bottom, you scroll on the chart to move it. You can also scroll here to bring it down. But you can see a lot of times it always hits off of this 20-day moving average that moves up, hits off the 20-day moving average, moves up, hits off the 20-day moving average, moves up. So you can kind of see here right now that it is kind of fully extended, at least for this stock here, the ALPP. Now, the only thing about this stock right here is that they are moving up quite fast, and I don't believe that they're going to come down to any of these levels anytime soon, only because they will soon be added into the NASDAQ. So right now it is a OTC stock. And so you can't, really trade it on Robinhood or anything. But the moment they go to NASDAQ, it's going to be opening up to millions of other people. They just did an offering of $50 million. It was a direct offering. So that means that they put it in for a price of $6. So here I was in the morning trying to figure out exactly where this stock was able to go. And so with all of the tools that you're about to learn here today, I was able to know exactly when to purchase it, which was right here. And then it just shot right back up. So here you already have your indicators ready to go. Here's the Keltner channels, and so either you can view them or not view them right there. So that's the Keltner channels. Usually they bounce off the top and then they go right back up. Or if you notice that they come right back in and they were already out of the channel, then that means that they're going to come down here and maybe even further down. But usually once it hits off of that bottom band, it usually bounces right back up. So it's one of those really cool indicators to have. So make sure that you have Keltner channels, the daily lines. Here's the RSI. Usually with the RSI here, let's say that we move this one over into the 30-minute. So one of the things that I like to show off is that you want to take a look at everything in 30-minute and 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily, just to kind of see what's going on versus the micro wise versus the macro wise. So it's a lot of times really good to take a step back to see what is going on. And with this one here, with the RSI, this just kind of means it's overbought territory. There's a lot of hype, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of times it's up here, it's going to drop down. So here it is, it did the massive drop. But now that we're right up over in here with the RSI sitting around 23, 29, 28, and 25, more than likely this is going to shoot right back up and bring you right up over here. So a lot of times if you see a stock with the RSI towards the bottom, it's usually a good point to purchase in, as long as the charts look right. If you purchase in, more than likely it will be going up. For the DMI, the Directional Movement Index, I always go inside of the settings and I do actually change the style. I don't change the input, but I change the style. So for me personally, I make the green this top option here, which is basically the motivation. It's the what is pushing it, and then with the plus, that means it's going up. So this is usually meaning the bulls. So I make it red. Red is intimidation. Bulls are intimidating. Bulls love the color red. So when I see the color red and it's above the blue line, which the blue line here is negative, again, you just tap here, you change whatever color you would like to use. So I use blue for bears, red for bulls, green for momentum. So basically what's going to happen now is that anytime that you notice, and you can move all of these charts here, anytime that you notice that the blue is above the red, that means it's bear territory. That means that it is definitely going down. And when you look at this momentum is pushed up and it's actually above the bears, which means that this thing went down drastically, which you saw here. And there's a lot of volume that's happening, a lot of momentum that's being pushed. And with this stock over here on the bottom, you can actually look and you can see the volume that it traded was 7.79 just yesterday on Friday. The average volume is only 3.1 million. So 3.1 million for a volume, and it basically went more than double. That's why this thing is just shooting up. It's changing drastically. People are noticing that there was the offering of $6 for the share, which means it was going to come down. And that's why the bulls are kind of down on the bottom. Bears are up here because the stock went down. But everybody is purchasing, gobbling it up, which is really good because Alpine is about to join NASDAQ. Okay, so with some of these indicators spoken about, we've kind of covered this. So that means that we can now move on into everything that we're doing in this screen right here and how you're able to really read the charts. So on the top, we talked about the indicators. The other thing you can do is when you take a look at your time frames right up over here, hit the down arrow and favorite some of these here. So I favorited the 1 minute, 5, 15, and 30 so I can take a really good micro look. Then I went more macro with the 1 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, the day, the week, and the month. Because sometimes you might be looking at the 15 and 30 minute way too much and you don't really know what's going on in the market. And if you take a look at that 4 and 6 hour, you're really going to notice, oh, this is super extended or it's underbought. So just favorite all of these time frames right up here. And so if you have all of this set up, that means that you're going to have your indicators with your favorites sitting right there. You're going to have a few of these indicators on your screen. and then your time frame's there. So now when it comes down to these tools that we actually use to read the charts and chart everything out, that's going to be everything on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, usually here's all your lines. Here's a few of the tools you can use, the functions. So when it comes down to like Fibonacci retracement, things like that. So with this first one, trend line. So trend line is one that I usually like to draw right here if I wanted to draw a line, which actually I used right here. So what I would say is favorite the trend line, info line, the horizontal ray, which the horizontal ray is these right here. When I notice and I find where it's about to go to, where it's about to come down to, and where it's about to head up, I always click on the screen at that moment. And so then this way it's always going to be fixed right on the side, so I can always read it here in the future. So when it comes down to this parallel channel, I mean, this one's really nice to use because let's say that we head over inside of Ethereum. And if we kind of push this out a little bit, we're going to go to the 4 hour. Let's bring this down. So I always like to draw channels. And let's take off this this Keltner channel here. So I really like to draw channels when I notice that it's always hitting an upper trend. So it's hit here. So if I head over inside of, say that we go to my drawing here. So it hit here. It also hit right up over here. It's hitting over here. It's hitting right up over here. And then on the bottom, you can see that it's hit there. It's hit there. It's hit there. It's hit there. So this is a channel that it's always just, staying in. It's kind of letting you know, where things are able to go. So again, a big thing that I like to use is going to be those channels. So we got this first tab right over here finished. Now let's head over into this second area right over here. So Pitchfork is one that's fun to play with, but I don't always use it. The massive one that we use is Fibonacci retracement. So Fibonacci retracement, there's a massive magical number with that 618 right there, and you'll see that here in just a second. So make sure that you favorite Fibonacci retracement. This is a massive one in this category. And then when it comes down to drawing, I just have brush, so I can do this on YouTube, but it's really nice to use rectangle, triangle, and the arc. So you can see here that I am using a triangle here. It's gonna, maybe make a bull flag, a descending channel, or a ascending flag, things like that. Really good to use any of those. In this area over here, there's really nothing to use other than almost this last category before the icon. So with this last category before the icon right over here, use the fixed range volume profile. So I'm going to show you all of these tools right here. This is the massive ones to use. So fib retracement, fixed range volume profile, the channel. You also have the horizontal ray, your trend line. Here's the triangle, the square, or the rectangle. I just have drawing. The fib fan, you don't have to have. Pitchfork, you don't have to have. Here's the info line, so you can see some detailed information, and then also you can create your own little arcs. So let me show you guys how you can use these tools, and you can see exactly how I got these lines here, because you might be looking at this thing where it's like, hey Jimmy, you put that first line in, back on this date right up over here on February 9th, it came down again, but then you also have this line right over here where it hit just perfectly. That's the perfect point to actually get into this stock, at least in this day and age right here. This one was hit on February 12th. So what I did was I went back here. So I had this point of control from before where I was reading where it was coming from this low to this high. A lot of people was buying it at this level. So this just kind of told me that this was pretty much a pivotal moment, a brand new trend. So I went from the swing low all the way up to right here, this swing high. So you can see here that I have this level. I went back kind of like a macro level. I scooted back a little bit. I went back a few days, again, started this thing on February 4th. And I had the trend go all the way to February 9th. And within those 3 days, I knew exactly that at some point we were going to hit down here. Now, the only thing that made it accelerate and come down quicker rather than, this little drop it was about to do was just because they put in that $50 million, to raise capital and brought the price down to $6. And so this is where I went. So some people might be thinking that if ALPP was offering it at $6, you might as well put in an ad or put it in for $6 in terms of a buy ticket. And the answer is really not. When you go from this level to this level, the retracement is always back down to that 0.618 level, and that is where it hit. Now, the cool thing here is that we have that 0.382 level, and it actually hit it twice. And then we also went down to this level here, which is the 0.5. So from a macro level, I was able to find all three levels that this thing would go to. Now, when it comes down to a couple of these lines here, these ones were found by getting a little bit closer in the time frame by looking at this swing high to this swing low, or I'm sorry, this swing low to this swing high. When I ran this swing low to this swing high, it was letting me know that it was going to come down to here. So that's kind of how you find all these lines. You just want to make sure that you find the correct trend. So now you might be asking yourself, how do we know that we're about to go up to this level right up over here? So earlier I went down here just so I can find these larger areas, the larger gaps of where it could go. But in order for you to really get really accurate, you want to go from this level here, because this is a completely new trend level, all the way up to the swing high. So here again, you can notice that with that 0.618 level, we've hit this thing multiple times. So from this swing low to this swing high, here we are hitting it right there at that 618 level. And so you know that with this little trend, which is this micro looking trend from the swing low to the swing high, 0.618, here we go. Right after it hit the high, it's already right down there exactly on the low. So this way you knew exactly that it was about to go up again. So using this same trend, going from the swing low to the swing high, you're just wondering and asking yourself, where's it about to go? So again, you go from that swing high down to the swing low. And when you do that swing high down to the swing low, that's going to let you know where it's about to go to based off of this trend that we just got done doing. And you've confirmed it because it went down to that 0.618 level. So here we go. This is that line. This is where I've already drawn it in. I've actually drawn it back here on this date here because this is where everything has happened. I knew it was going to come up to this level here. So let's say that we put it right up on the line. So basically 1091, right? So you might be also wondering about this line over here. So this is the Fibonacci retracement telling us it's coming to this level here. And you can even do another level sitting right up over here. And some of these lines will move a little bit just depending on what has happened and what has came out of the whole trend and the trading sessions. So here's one way to find where it's going to go. Fibonacci retracement, delete, boom, awesome, cool. The next way that you'd be able to see where a stock is about to go is by looking at patterns on the screen. So you can see here, I drew this level here. This is called a bull flag. So what's going to happen is usually it'll kind of bounce inside of here, figuring out where it's about to go. About 70 to 80% into the triangle is usually where it breaks out. Now, because they offered the stock lower, that's why it dropped. So normally what would have happened is right around here, then it would actually bounce right back up. So what you take is the length of this triangle here that was created from the swing low, and it's hitting on the very top with that swing high. You've created this little triangle. You know, it's going to look, something very close to this, and you want to see where it could break out to. So now you draw how the length of this, the vertical length of this open-ended triangle right over here on the left side, and then you move it right over here where you think it could be jumping out as. So here's the thing that I find just fun when it comes down to charting. So it is there. I mean, let's see. Let me go to my brush right here. Look at this right there. It is exactly on the dot. So we are reading this in two ways. We have the Fibonacci retracement letting us know where it's dropped down to. And then after it's dropped down, we go from the swing high to the swing low to let us know with the Fibonacci retracement of where it would drop, where the next leg up is, and it's sitting right here. Now, we were just for fun playing with reading the chart. So reading this bull flag, how the vertical length of this bull flag, placing it where we think it'll go. Like, let's say if we think it's going to break out at this date, then it's going to be sitting up here. Now, if we feel like it's going to be, on this date over here, which is, February 16th, then it's probably only going to come up to here. But this is that level. It's just all confluent with each other, going between the Fibonacci retracement and just reading the regular charts. So this right here is what it's going to look like. So how about we take a look at another chart and we can look at a few other things. And you know what, we might as well just look at this here. Let's look at our fixed volume index, right? So let's click on the swing low to swing high. Let's see where everybody is purchasing and buying. And it's this level right here. So the other cool thing is look how accurate this is sitting right there. This is where there's a lot of movement. This is the control point of control. And what happened was it hit off of this level and then it dropped right back down. So here we are, it went up, it went down, and then as it went up, it hit the point of control and then dropped right back down. So these indicators are super important to look at and play with. So now let's move right over inside. Let's take a look at XPEV. So XPeng. So when it comes down to this one too, XPeng, I mean, they were so high up. They climbed up right up over here, and then they dropped right back down. So what I'm trying to figure out is where is this about to head to if it's already kind of correcting itself. So what you can do is you can take this Fibonacci retracement from, let's say, the swing high all the way down to this swing low. So what this tells me is you look at that 1.618 right over there, and you're going to bring this down right over here, and this next leg of where it's about to head to, after it passes a few levels of resistance, is that from the swing high all the way down to pretty much this swing low, is that we are looking at 68.41. And then the very next level, once it was to head up right over there, I'm going to switch this one over into green. Then we're going to be seeing 82.42, and usually around this range is where I'm going to get rid of it, just because of where I, invested in the company. The cool thing is that TradingView will let you know when the earnings dates are, or when the earnings date is. So right over here, the earnings date for XPEV is going to be on March 8th. So really cool website, letting you know exactly, when things are going to happen. You have your, the earnings details and everything else. And so here is, basically what was going on with this stock. This one was going up like crazy. And you know what? I could probably actually make, let's make a little triangle inside of here just for fun. So if I go sitting right here, I'm going to put it right on the swing low over to the swing high. And then I'm going to place it right around here. So this kind of tells me that with this flag that's kind of going on with this trend inside of this triangle, that hopefully it's going to stay inside of here. And as it gets about 70% of the way, it's going to just shoot right up over here into this first area that I kind of have posted from today. So I have a feeling that with this earnings date, which kind of, still lines up with this triangle right here, then soon we're going to see 68.41 on that one. And if it goes up even more, we're going to see 82.50 or 82.42. So I hope that this video has kind of helped you guys out a little bit. Looking back at all these different charts, when you put in all these lines and you put in the work, you can figure out exactly where it's going to head up to, where it's coming down to, where it's going to head next, where it actually went up, it hit off, it bounced off, and then there was that level there. And these things were drawn, way before. This one was, I think, January 24th was when I drew all of this, because here's February. So January 24th was when I knew it was going to hit 727, which it hit it right on the head here, I think on the 6th or on the 7th of February. Super, super cool. And I hope that this has kind of helped you guys out a little bit. I'll do more videos here in the future to help you guys out. Also, write comments below the video inside the description if there's anything that you would like to see, if there is a stock that you'd like for me to look at, if there is a cryptocurrency you want me to look at. So then this way I can draw my chart and then you can compare it to the chart that you drew to see if you are accurate. So the main things is Fibonacci retracement. You look at the pattern, you look at what's going on, and you go from the swing high to the swing low to figure out where it's going to go. But you go from the swing low to the swing high to see where it's going to retrace to, because you are trading in the moment. If you already had the low and it just hit a high, you need to know where it's about to head to. So you go swing low, swing high, where is it going to come? And that's pretty much about it. So, if we look at this one here, it's not going to be that pretty, but swing low, go from the swing low to the swing high. I could probably zoom in, take a better look at it, but you can see here that 0.618 right there. This is where it is a good point to purchase in, and it's still actually a little bit higher there. If we go from this swing low to this swing high, I can guarantee you this right here is the 0.618. I can guarantee it. And so if you go to the swing low to this swing high right there, it's going to give you these points right up over there. So again, give this thing a huge thumbs up if you guys appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.